2021 is here, so it is time to update our complete guide to Universal Orlando Resort for 2021. Our pocket guide to all you need to know when visiting Universal Orlando. This is episode 445 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello, everyone. As we do every year, we are bringing you our complete guide to Universal Orlando. This is our pocket audio guide to the Universal Orlando Resort, covering everything you need to know about theme parks, hotels, and more, updated for 2021. This is by no means an exhaustive guide to Universal Orlando, but a pretty good overview for first-timers or those that haven't been in a while. We are all aware of the current restrictions that are in place due to COVID: masks, sanitizing, reduced capacity, social distancing, temperature checks, and more. But we're going to cover the resort as if things are normal and throw in the odd COVID comment if we feel it's relevant.
So Chris, Michelle, that's down to you guys, because we haven't visited during COVID times, but...
All right.
Okey
You got
dokey.
it. All right, so let's begin.
Right, so Universal Orlando Resort, if you don't already know, currently consists of 2 theme parks, Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure, a water theme park, Volcano Bay, a shopping and entertainment district, City Walk, 6 on-site hotels, the Portofino Bay, the Royal Pacific, the Hard Rock, the Cabana Bay Beach Resort, Sapphire Falls and Aventura, and 2 iDrive, which are technically classed as on-site hotels, the Endless Summer Resort, which consists of the Surfside Inn and Suites and the Dockside Inn and Suites. And they look lovely.
They do. And the resort continues to expand. Now, we're not going to get too much into how to get to the resort, as there are many options. Many guests choose to drive. For these people, the current regular parking is currently $26 and Prime is $36. Valet parking is also an option, starting at $26 for 2 hours, rising to $55 for more than 2 hours if you park before 6 p.m. And it's currently not available. COVID.
Of course.
Because you don't want people in your car.
No.
So, yeah.
Or maybe you do.
Yeah, smearing the germs all over your steering wheel. Annual pass holders will receive parking discounts, free self-parking, or even free valet parking, depending on the type of annual pass that they have. And self-parking is free after 6 p.m, except on Halloween Horror Night event nights.
As we found out in 2015.
Yeah. I think the pass pays for itself in parking alone if you go a couple times at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are staying at any of the on-site hotels, please note that the cost of parking at the hotel or theme parks is not included. You can get to the parks by walking or water taxi if staying at Portofino Bay, Hard Rock, Royal Pacific, or Sapphire Falls, and on foot or by shuttle bus from Cabana Bay and Aventura, and by shuttle bus at both of the Endless Summer Resort hotels. Now, you will traverse the parking lot using a mix of elevators, escalators, and everyone's favorite, the moving walkways, to get to the obligatory bag check metal detectors. I thought I said mental detectors because I need that. So in the parking lot hub before making your way to Universal City Walk. And just to comment on that, if you are eating at any one of the restaurants in these hotels, you can get your parking validated for free. So keep that in mind.
Huh?
I did not know that, actually.
You can.
Yep.
You have to take your parking ticket. You can even do it with valet, but not right now, I guess.
No.
And at the restaurant, they'll validate it for you.
Awesome. That's good to know.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
And let's note that it's a moving walkway, not a moving stand in everybody's way.
Agreed.
I wondered where you were going there for a second.
Or if you go to stand to the side.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please. Okay, City Walk. This area contains the Cinemark multi-screen state-of-the-art cinema, the Hollywood Drive-In Mini Golf,
Awesome.
and a live concert venue in the Hard Rock Live. Eating options at City Walk are plentiful. There are many excellent choices of restaurants, such as the quick-service Red Oven Pizza Bakery,
Yes.
Bread Box, and Hot Dog Hall of Fame. There are some awesome sit-down options in Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen, the Mexican Antojitos,
Yes.
Vivo Italian Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was coming. I had to pause for you.
I love it.
The burger sushi restaurant Cowfish, which
Oh,
has
yes.
quickly become one of my favorite
And
City Walk
ours.
restaurants.
Yep.
Yes.
That is all good there. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. NBC Sports Grill and Brew, another of my new favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Big Fire American Fare,
Yes.
as well as
Yes.
oh yeah, as well as chain restaurant Hard Rock Cafe, Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, and Margaritaville. City Walk also includes many grab-and-go options such as Cinnabon and Starbucks, of course.
If you are looking for diabetes, sweeter options can be found at Menchie's Frozen Yogurt, never been. Cold Stone Creamery for ice cream, never been there either. For quick bites on the way to the parks, make sure to check out the Star of City Walk. They're all right. They're not the best, but it depends. Voodoo Donut, but definitely check it out just for the Instagram
novelty of
worthy, because they're definitely
the
worth
novelty,
going.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
because Lee would not eat a box of them if I gave it to him right now.
I did not say that.
It's a
wouldn't like to-
good after Halloween Horror Nights snack.
Or before, or during, or...
Just to sit in that
Yeah.
big donut throne and eat a whole box.
Yes.
When your body is depleted of all nutrients and
I mean,
you need a
like-
quick sugar pick-me-up.
Yeah.
Like Lee said, if you didn't have enough sugar in the park, which is kind of hard to get sugar in there, we all know that. I mean, you have Voodoo Donuts right after.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just don't do the canolos.
No. No. And to walk off all of that sugar and food, City Walk includes few shopping options such as your one-stop shop for park merch outside of the theme parks, the Universal Studios store, which as of recording will soon be moved to a huge new building that formerly housed 4 stores. You're going to need a rope tied to the door to find your way back out. There's also a guest services kiosk for all your resort-related needs and questions.
Of course, I would get this one. So drinking options include the Lone Palm Airport, great for when you're walking outside of Islands of Adventure. Fat Tuesdays. I see you there, Darren.
Yes.
And the Red Coconut Club. And for all you singers out there, you can end the night at Rising Star. And on select nights, be backed by a live band, which is pretty fun. Haven't done it, but one day we all will.
We will.
It's fun to watch.
I don't even know where the Red Coconut Club is. If you asked me to point out where that is, I have no idea where it is.
upstairs.
It's the first one when you go up the escalator in City Walk.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Just sounds a little
Yes.
bit dodgy though, doesn't it? The Red Coconut Club.
Okay.
Just
It's
me.
Universal's red light district.
It
It is red
sometimes
light.
feel like
Girls
that
on
if you've been in there.
Red
Wow.
lights, coconut bra.
Well, I guess where this is going.
What do you think I'm at
Note
Alexa?
taken.
All right, go ahead.
Must try Red Coconut Club next time I'm there.
Michelle, I'm by your side.
All right. There are 2 things not COVID related we must include before we enter the parks that could impact your enjoyment of them. The Attraction Assistance Pass, or AAP, is designed to assist guests who, due to their disability, may have difficulty waiting in a regular queue. If an attraction has a posted wait of 30 minutes or more, you will receive a return time to come back to the attraction and enter through the alternate queue. If the attraction's posted wait time is less than 30 minutes, you will be directed to enter the attraction through the alternate entrance. The AAP can be used at every attraction. The AAP will accommodate the person assigned and up to 5 others in their group. All admission tickets in the group must be electronically assigned to the AAP when it is obtained from guest relations. Guests can only have one attraction return time listed on the AAP and must use it or cancel it before obtaining another. The AAP is active for the length of your visit or for annual pass holders up to 2 weeks. To obtain the AAP, go to guest services in either Universal Studios Florida or Islands of Adventure.
That's good to know, because I think that's one of those things that if you're going with someone with a disability, it's not necessarily information that's out there easy to get hold of, honestly.
Yeah.
Correct.
And of course, secondly, we need to talk about Universal's Express Pass. Now, if you're familiar what used to be Disney's Fast Pass and now Disney's Max Pass system, it all changed over there. There are a couple of options for Express. One option gives you 1 Express entrance per ride. The second gives you unlimited Express entrance, both of which can be 1 or 2 park options and can be bought for multiple days. These passes allow you to gain access to a separate line, which is supposed to be shorter than the standby, but isn't always.
Okay.
That would be the Express line, and the idea is that it will cut your wait time down. Prices vary depending on the time of year you are going. You can check out universalorlando.com for the pricing. There is one more option that can get you express passes at Universal Orlando, but we will talk about that a little bit later.
We should also mention that many rides at the parks now offer virtual queue, which allows guests to book a ride time on the Universal app or at kiosks at the ride. This allows them to virtually wait in line to go and do something else and come back when your allotted time is due. So make sure to download the official app to book your virtual line and for more details.
And as we found out on the show last week, virtual wait times can get 20 minutes before park opens, and then new virtual lines are added. I think, did Chris say 11, 2 and 4?
That rings a bell, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. So one last thing to mention before we enter the parks are the lockers. Day lockers are available to rent at the entrance of both parks. Lockers are also available at most rides and are complimentary except on the water rides.
Of course.
Yeah. You are not permitted to take any items onto many rides at the resort. So please make sure to grab a locker at the attraction before entering the queue, or they will yell at you multiple times.
Yes. And so will everyone else in line who's getting home.
I will yell at you multiple times as well.
May I interject right there, though? There is an exception if you are somebody who needs to keep your bag with you because of a medical necessity, such as my daughter who has type 1 diabetes and needs her insulin and everything with her. You can let all of the team members know throughout the line, because you will be asked and yelled at many, many times trying to take your bag through the line. You just tell them that you have a medical bag and they'll wave you on through. And right before you get on the ride, they have special lockers there that they call medical lockers specifically for your bag.
That's good to know.
So we got very used to just holding up the bag saying medical bag before they could even yell at us, so that they knew to just let us on through. So if you are somebody that honestly, now don't take advantage of the system, but if you honestly need a bag with you, because before I knew about that, there were times where I've been in long lines with Audrey and she'd get low blood sugar and we had nothing with us, and that's scary. So if you honestly need it with you, there is an option there for you. Don't put yourself in danger.
Good. It's good to know.
That's really good to know.
Yep. All right, so moving on. Speaking of restrictions, many of the attractions at Universal Orlando have height requirements. So if you are traveling with someone under 54 inches, check the app, park map, or the attraction for specific restrictions.
Yep. And we will move into our first theme park, which is Universal's Islands of Adventure. Of course, moving through the entrance to the park, you will find Port of Entry. Stunning, stunning entrance to that park. You will pass the iconic Islands Lighthouse, which, for those of you who are interested, is inspired by the Pharos Lighthouse of Alexandria in Egypt, which apparently we've seen, but I don't remember. A Port of Entry contains 2 stores, that are the Islands of Adventure Trading Company, which pretty much has any merch you want from Islands of Adventure in there, and your Universal Orlando-themed Christmas decorations can be found at Port of Entry Christmas.
Yes.
There's a couple of grab-and-go food options in the Croissant Moon Bakery, which is pretty awesome. And, of course, the obligatory theme park staple of Starbucks, as well as the Confisco Grill restaurant right at the top of Port of Entry on the right-hand side. And adjoining the Confisco Grill is the very popular Backwater Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Be sure to check out Port of Entry after dark if you can.
Yes.
It is stunning.
And do you know what? If it's been raining and then it's after dark, so you've still got puddles on the floor, amazing photographs.
Yes.
So heading counterclockwise, the first land we happen across is Zeus Landing. Oh, I wonder why I got this one. This is based on the books of beloved children's writer Theodore Geisel. This area includes rides and attractions suited for families with smaller children, or us big kids as well. The Cat in the Hat is a dark ride-through story of the book. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish is a spinner ride in which you may get wet as you follow along with the song, or don't, that's when you get wet. And
Thomas and Lynette.
And the Carousel is a carousel featuring Zeusian characters. And you pull on levers and the heads move or turn or ears twitch or make noises. It's so much fun. It actually moves faster than it looks.
We had an interesting ride on it at the weekend.
Yes, we did. It was so much fun.
It was.
Is Susian the technical term there? Because I like that.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool.
Finally, the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride is a twin-track train ride above Seuss Landing, following the story of the Sylvester McMonkey, McBean, and the Sneetches.
Yeah.
There is one main eatery in Seuss Landing, and that is the quick service, which is Lee's favorite, Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous.
I don't think it's anybody's favorite. It's pretty terrible, in all honesty, but it will serve a purpose, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute.
Yes. And you can also get a unique selection of delicious tater tots at Green Eggs and Ham.
And then get them and go and take them into Circus McGurkus and eat them there.
Look, Circus has the ambiance. That's what it has.
It does, yes.
And the fact that Hi, this guy who's trying to train ride goes through
exactly.
it and he can wave at people is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Sweet treats can be found at Snookers, sweet candy cookers. Snookers and Snookers, sweet candy cookers. There we go. And the 2 signature drinks of the area can be found at Moose Juice, Goose Juice. All of your Dr. Seuss gifts can be found in the Cats, Hats, and Things shop, Mulberry Street, and all the books you can read.
That first shop generally smells of vomit.
Yeah, it does. And I think it's
the Cat and the Hats Thing shop?
Yeah, it stinks. Yeah. Moving out of Zeus Landing and stepping into the next island, we see that the Lost Continent is a lot smaller than it used to, is an area set amongst the ancient myths and legends of Greek gods. As I said, this area has shrank a lot since the park opened due to something that took over it, which we'll get to in a minute. And because of this, includes no rides, but it does feature a walk-through attraction, Poseidon's Fury. It is a multi-room show themed to an ancient battle between Poseidon and Lord Darkanon and has not aged well.
No, is it still
It's
closed?
a former shadow of itself.
I don't know, honestly. I don't think it's open. Michelle, was it open when you were there?
No.
I don't think it's going to reopen.
I really hope this is not like the,
like they did with Barney.
The stake in the heart.
Yeah, it may well be.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It needs something, though. It needs, if they're going to do nothing, then...
Yeah.
No, it definitely just, dump 100,000 into it. I don't know how much a ride costs.
Not 100,000, Chris. You won't get much for that, I'm afraid.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, they changed the sign on the front for 100,000. Got it.
All right,
yeah. Do something. Just update the screens, please.
Yeah.
Because
it is stunning. It's just very rooted in the 1990s at this point.
Definitely. Yeah. Do not miss, or I will come for you, the awesome Mystic Fountain in front of the now closed Sinbad Theatre. Because it's so cool.
It's awesome.
Especially if you just sit to one side and you just wait for people who don't know just to happen upon it. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Lost Continent contains a few places to eat, the highlight being the park's signature restaurant, Mythos.
Which is awesome. The food.
It is.
Okay. Ambience again is through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The standout quick service venue is the Fire Eater's Grill.
We like it.
Doxagru's for kebabs and hummus.
Which is somewhere I really want to go after seeing the one Michelle got when we were there for the weekender.
Yeah.
Very yummy.
Now, shopping is plentiful in this area too, and you can buy anything from coins and medallions forged and struck in front of your very eyes, to numerous collectibles, including a small armoury full of historic swords and daggers. But if you're travelling internationally, you won't be able to bring those home.
Good luck getting them back on the plane.
I would say smuggle them, but I wouldn't recommend where you could put them.
Look, in fairness, TSA weren't even letting people take those Coke bottles from Galaxy's Edge back home. Good luck getting a sword or a dagger back.
Actually, do you know what? It'd probably be easier.
They stop you at security coming into the park with a pocket knife, in a little Swiss Army knife.
You can buy a sword.
But come on in and buy a 25-inch sword.
Actually, you can't take them. You collect them at the end of the day.
I don't know. I've never bought one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have one of the areas there. Doesn't really matter that much. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade.
Whoop, whoop.
Which replaced the original Merlin Wood area of the Lost Continent.
I liked Merlin Wood.
I don't remember much
cool.
about it, to be honest.
I don't either.
I remember the big tree restaurant.
Yes, that's about all I remember.
I always remember that.
Yeah. The Enchanted Oak.
That's the one. I remember when Merlin wandered round. He was cool.
Yeah.
That was nice. I liked it.
So the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade contains 3 rides. We have Flight of the Hippogriff, a non-inverted family coaster.
That'll smash your back in.
What's a non-inverted family?
A non-inverted family.
It's a non-inverted family. That's what We also have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. This is a signature attraction of the area. Housed inside the Hogwarts castle, you will climb aboard an enchanted bench to do battle with the fire-breathing dragon. Why? Acromantula? The Whomping Willow, Dementors, and more in this state-of-the-art attraction that is a must-do. Now, the queue is an attraction all by itself, so don't hesitate to take your time, letting people pass you if need be, to fully appreciate this stunning queue.
Which we have.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they also have. You can also do like the
No, you can't.
just the tour, or they stopped that,
They
right?
stopped the castle tour
while
a
ago.
long time ago, which is such a
Boo.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great thing for people that don't want to ride the ride and just see everything.
It was actually the first time we did Forbidden Journey. That's how we did it, through the castle tour line.
But in non-COVID times, even if your family is too small to ride or don't want to ride, they can still go in the queue with you and wait in the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
child swap area. So,
Yeah.
but not right now because of COVID.
So the height requirement is 48 inches, but be warned, people of a larger stature may not be permitted to ride. Please use the test seat out in front of the attraction to save embarrassment later.
Yes, because they have fact
I guess
patrol
Lee is
when
laughing
they-
at everybody there, so you know.
What?
It says the embarrassment later. What are you embarrassing people for?
Not me. Well, put it
Tracy?
this way: we know
Not me.
someone who got turned away because they were too big to ride it,
Yes.
Yeah,
and
it happens.
that person was less than amused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Now, a little pro tip: if you are prone to motion sickness, just close your eyes during the screen parts.
I have done this because I find it incredibly motion sick inducing, and it was actually your other half, Michelle Robin, that told me to do that, and it worked.
Yep, she does it every time.
I'm too nosy. I've still got to see everything that's going on.
While she's puking
I've-
everywhere.
Yeah, I've got to put my feet out and pretend that I'm really flying, so I can't close my eyes.
Well, I'd
Exactly,
rather
yeah.
close my eyes and not throw up.
All right. And the newest ride is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. The highly themed, non-inverted story coaster takes place throughout the Forbidden Forest.
First, yep.
No, I don't live in the South. Takes place throughout the Forbidden Forest with some awesome animatronics and a couple of unexpected twists. This attraction has 2 different ride vehicles, so make sure to fight out who's on the bike or the sidecar before you board.
And it is a fight as well. That's the
It's
problem.
literally every time.
Yeah. Another attraction that is housed in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade is the mini show at Ollivanders, where one person will be picked out of a small group to have their wand choose them, but be warned, you still have to buy it. You don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
And when you've got a small child with you, well,
And they're not cheap.
no. And also try to explain to them it's not a real one and it doesn't work. Because when we had Jade who thought it was an actual wand and was going to work, she was slightly off in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she was. Yes.
Well, what was the point in buying that then, is what she actually said.
I'm still the only one in the family without
I
one.
mean, she's not wrong.
It's a stick.
Yeah.
A fancy stick. Right, so there's one main eatery here that's a 3 broomsticks, which serves English fare. Being English, sometimes I look at it and go,
Yeah, no, it's American English.
but we'll let it pass because actually it's not bad. As well as 3 types of butterbeer, season permitting, and many other signature soft and alcoholic drinks, and sweet treats even can be found at Honeydukes.
There are tons of shopping to be had in Hogsmeade. You can buy your own wand in Dervish and Bangs. Purchase all your Hogwarts House branded stuff at Mr. Filch's Emporium of Confiscated Goods. Postcards can be bought and sent with an actual Hogsmeade postmark from the Owl Post, and much more.
I think we've got an envelope somewhere that I think it was Kaz Gray sent us one, didn't she?
Yes.
Don't forget to meet with the Hogwarts Express conductor himself in front of the iconic train and catch the performances of the Frog Choir and the Tri-Wizard Spirit Rally. You can catch the Hogwarts Express to Diagon Alley from Hogsmeade Station if you have a park-to-park ticket. Also, make sure to check out the Hogwarts projection shows, which also change seasonally.
I've never seen any of them. The next area moving through Hogsmeade is Jurassic Park. Now, this area has 3 main rides. That one of them being the Jurassic Park River Adventure, which is just a typical log flume ride, kind of, with animatronics and stuff, and an 85-foot drop. And trust me, you will get wet at the end of it.
Just a little bit.
So next up is the Pterodon Flyers attraction in Camp Jurassic.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Because I know it. That's why I gave this to Chris. No, it's not.
Sorry, I'm with you. I'm not
Oh, Pteranodon Flyers.
There we go.
That's the name. So this is a suspended ride above Jurassic Park. Pteranodon Flyers is designed for children 36 inches to 56 inches in height. A guest over 56 inches in height must be accompanied by a child meeting the 36-inch height requirement. Children between 36 and 56 inches must be accompanied by a supervising companion. And I really need to find someone's child to ride with because I have never ridden this.
We have been on it.
Hello.
Well, next
Michelle,
time
you're
I
not that
see you in the
short.
park, yes, I will borrow her.
Alexa practically adopted her last
I
February.
know. I don't know why we didn't take advantage of that last time. I don't know why. I don't know.
Did we actually
We'll
spend,
probably fight over who gets her because she wants to ride it just as bad.
did we actually spend any
yeah.
time in Islands of Adventure, all of us together? I don't think we did.
So.
Poor Chris is going to have to ride, spend nothing but a whole day riding Pteranodon Flyers so that everybody can have a chance.
We're going to have to bribe the poor kid.
Oh, that can be done.
Oh,
Fairly easy.
Yeah. Now, as of recording, the newest attraction in Jurassic Park is set to open this summer, and that is the Jurassic World Velocicoaster, Lee's new favourite. A highly themed, high-speed coaster with many inversions and a huge top hat and some very fast launches.
And it looks amazing.
Really does.
Everything. Queue, ride,
It
everything
looks
looks amazing on that.
Yes.
Now, there are two other attractions in Jurassic Park. You first off have the Discovery Center, which is an interactive exhibit. And secondly, the Kids Play Area, Camp Jurassic.
Remember that says kids play area. Kids play area. Now, if you're an adult and you want to go through those slides, you
Don't.
might get stuck.
Yeah.
We did them, and yes, it burns your thighs.
Yes, it does.
And last but not least, which this is super cool to do it if you haven't. You can also meet Blue the Raptor at the Raptor Encounter.
It's awesome.
Or possibly a baby raptor.
Oh, yes. That's pretty cool as well, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There are a few places to eat in Jurassic Park: Burger Digs and the Discovery Center, and the quick service Thunder Falls Terrace. Other options include the Watering Hole for small snacks, drinks, and alcohol, and Pizza Predatoria. Shopping can be found in Jurassic Outfitters as well as in the Discovery Center.
It can, but don't bother. Apparently, I'm the one introducing all these islands. The next island we meet in our tour is Skull Island. Now, Skull Island isn't strictly a land, kind of just a little bit squished in between two. It only houses one attraction, but that one attraction is pretty awesome, and that is Skull Island Reign of Kong, which is a 3D Jeep ride attraction containing huge screens and an awesome animatronic at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to look to your right at the end to get
incredible.
the best view of it. It's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, you should.
And
Snacks.
take off your 3D goggles and
Yes.
look at it.
Yeah, definitely. Snacks can be acquired in Skull Island at the mess tent. Now, Skull Island doesn't have a dedicated store, but King Kong merch can be purchased from many of the stores in the park and on City Walk. And there is a little tiny stand.
There's a cart.
Yeah, there's a little cart
There's a little
there
cart.
as you walk out.
Yeah.
So, ride, food, merch. I think that's a full island right there, Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technically. Technically.
I wouldn't say so, but anyway.
It's an islet.
And
It's an island.
Isle.
Small, itty bitty island. All right, so Toon Lagoon is the next area on our tour and is modeled on the comic strips of yesteryear. You'll find Hagar, Beetle Bailey, Popeye, and many more characters you probably don't know because you're way too young in this colorful and very wet island. There are two rides in Toon Lagoon, and they are both water rides, but well worth checking out. First off, you have Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat barges, and that is a water rapid style attraction.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
If you like
So
getting
cool.
wet, it is awesome.
If you like getting soaked from head to toe,
Yes.
it's awesome.
I mean, like our thing that we do every year almost we try is during the summertime, we'll spend like one day just coming in a bathing suit, sandals, and just ride the water rides and then go back to the resort because I hate being wet all day.
Yeah, me too. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I'd take clothes in. I would just like to say that I have written Bilge Rat barges and come off completely dry. And then I got taken
Impossible.
on. Second, I did.
That is
you-
impossible.
I
Did you play the lotto when you were done?
I should have done.
Yeah.
I did Dice with Death though, because Lee said, let's go back on. And I was soaked the second time.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
That
first
is
time.
very impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
And I hate getting wet, so I was really smug.
Yeah.
Karma got me.
Well, speaking of getting wet, Dudley Do Right's Ripside Falls
Rip
is a
Slide
log flume
Flaws?
type
What was
ride
that?
as well.
Rip slide.
Yeah, that's a great name for it, actually.
Rip slide flaws.
Rips off flaws. Also, head down to the lagoon front for me, Ship the Olive, for a kids' play area. But the highlight of the ship are the free water cannons to squirt unsuspecting passengers, Tracy, on Popeye and Bluto's bilge rat barge.
We have spent many an hour down there squirting people.
Yes.
I'm not going to comment.
There are two main eateries in this area. We have not eaten at both of them, but I have heard not good things about them. They are Blondie's, the home of the Dagwood, and Comic Strip Cafe. But at peak times, you may find a Wimpy's is open for burgers and stuff, and it's not bad. And then also there is Kathy's for ice cream.
Let me tell you, if you ever want a little snack, Blondie's, I don't know why, but their fries are amazing over there.
That's good to know.
Like, they put some good seasoning on it. They're just really, really good, and they hit the spot if you just want, like, little thing to munch on.
Shopping is plentiful too. Gasoline Alley, the Betty Boop store, Toon Extra, and the Character Factory.
We enter the final land of Islands of Adventure and step into the pages of Stan Lee's Marvel comic book in Marvel Superhero Island. There are 4 attractions in this area. The first you will hit entering from Toon Lagoon is the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Still one of Lee's favorite. Still regarded as one of the greatest theme park attractions, board a scoop for a 3D motion-based ride-through attraction that is mind-blowing.
It's the only attraction I've ever ridden that's left me speechless.
Fast and Furious.
It didn't leave me
just about to
speechless.
say that.
I loved it.
Different kind of speechless.
Yeah.
Up next, one I will not ride, Dr. Doom's Fearfall, a 200-foot drop tower.
I'm going to have one of these days where we're going to ride all the attractions that Michelle won't ride.
I won't ride that one either.
You have, though.
That will have to be shortly after Chris gives me some of his rum punch.
Yeah.
I can get you
lots
all
of
to
his
ride
rum
this
punch.
then.
You remember that, Chris? You heard it. All she needs is rum
know.
punch.
Lee, you got to hold her to that fire later.
Oh,
so.
yes. And the third attraction is the only ride, I think, currently at Universal Orlando that I have not ridden and probably never will. That is Stormforce Acceleratron, because it is a teacup type ride and that will make me hurl.
Especially if you ride with me.
It's a teacup type ride on crack. Like it's...
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so bad.
And then
It's-
Krista loves it. I mean, if you have a kid, just be warned.
And finally, the Incredible Hulk Coaster, which is an awesome coaster that launches guests out of a tunnel at 67 miles per hour and features 7 inversions.
Which Tracy and I haven't done it for a very long time at this point.
No.
I think keeping
Right.
you off coasters for the most part is the smart idea, Lee.
Maybe.
We want you to survive the park.
Yeah. I'm getting
Incredible
too old.
Hulk coaster is best at night, just to tell you.
They
Open
all
your
are.
eyes and look at the park around you when you get up to the top. It's awesome.
Okay.
Alrighty. Marvel Superhero Island has 2 restaurants, both of which are quick service locations. Those are Cafe 4 and Captain America Diner.
They're both crap,
Cafe 4 was all right.
if you say so.
I do.
Shopping is in abundance here, of course, because it's a theme park. You've got your Spider-Man shop for all your webhead stuff, the Marvel Alterniverse, where you can also get your picture taken with Spidey himself, and it's pretty awesome, to be honest. And there is a comic book shop. But one final thing not to miss is the regularly scheduled Marvel Heroes Parade.
Yes. Spider-Man, Captain America, Storm, Rogue, Cyclops, and Wolverine will come out on ATVs to meet and greet with guests.
What a weird group of Marvel
I
characters.
know, I know. And keep your eye out too, as you may see Doctor Doom and Green Goblin roam in the area.
He called me a loser last time I saw him.
Not wrong.
Yeah, it's a little better than the group meet and greet they do there in the park. But
Is it just a tree?
yeah, just walk up and talk to the tree. So crossing City Walk, you will come to Universal Orlando Resort's original park, Universal Studios Florida.
Entering the park, you arrive in Entrance Plaza. Here you will find guest services on your right. From there, we move into Production Central. Here you will find 4 attractions. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which another one I don't love, is a non-inverting music-based roller coaster, which allows you to pick the music track that you will listen to while on the ride. Track listings can be found online and include a secret track list. Songs are picked via a touchscreen on your lap bar if you're brave enough to open your eyes and actually do it.
Oh my God.
But be warned, you don't have long to choose. You must be at least 51 inches to ride, but this coaster also has a maximum height restriction. So if you are over 79 inches, you won't be able to ride.
What's 79 inches?
Just quick try to work that out.
That's me. I'm 79 inches.
What?
I'm just kidding.
6'7".
I'm just trying to give you an
There you go.
excuse to lay off of me.
So Jamie couldn't go on it then.
6'7".
Next up, we have Shrek 4D.
Ooh.
This is a theatre-style 4D attraction that takes place in between the stories of the original Shrek and Shrek 2. The pre-show's worth watching,
Yep.
the rest of it isn't.
Not true.
I mean, if you love shock-absorbing sounds, then you will love this ride.
Yeah. I'll go for a snooze in the non-moving seats. Oh, look, go in the
Ooh.
moving seats, because when you have the drop, it wakes you up.
Or if you want a good excuse to visit your chiropractor when you're done.
Yep.
There you go.
That too.
Despicable Me Minion Mayhem is next on our tour. This is another theater-style attraction in which you board moving seats to join Gru, Margot, Edith, Agnes, and the mischievous minions on a simulator ride that used to be in 3D, but not anymore.
True.
The last attraction in Production Central is Transformers The Ride 3D. This attraction is very similar to The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and is a replica of the one found in Universal Studios over in Hollywood. See if you can find the actual on-ride elevator.
I prefer it. I prefer it to Spider-Man.
Same.
Michelle's gone
Fine,
silent.
Chris, can I have you?
Michelle's just...
I am, because I'm trying to think of where the actual on-ride elevator is.
Michelle, you were literally sat there with us when we rode it, and I explained where it was to Chrissa and Chris because Chris had never seen it at that point.
You said that?
Yes. You ask Chrissa when you get off this call where the elevator is in Transformers, and I bet she can tell you.
Okay, I'll have to ask her because I must not have been able to hear you.
The only eatery in Production Central is at Universal Classic Monsters Cafe, which is a quick service location that serves a weird sort of barbecue style menu, but the theming in there is awesome because there's different dining areas themed to such as like Dracula's Castle and the Swamp and a flying saucer.
And pretty awesome it is too.
It is, especially if you can do scare actor dining.
And once again,
Oh, yeah.
there's plenty of shopping to be had in Production Central. For all of your Minion stuff, head to Super Silly Stuff. The Supply Vault has all your Transformers merchandise, and you can get Shrek gear at Shrek's Ye Olde Souvenir Shop.
If you'd why you'd want to, I don't know, but anyway.
Then for everything in one place, the Universal Studios store has it all.
Moving clockwise, we move into New York, and we have two rides here. Race to New York starring Jimmy Fallon, a theater-style 3D attraction that is more the sum of its parts than the ride itself. Make sure to stay for the Ragtime Gals live on stage in the queuing area.
Because they're awesome.
And now they are the best. Literally
Yes.
awesome. Which is probably half the ride right there.
Yes.
Yeah. And this attraction was the first to feature a virtual line. Which is kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And also hashtag the pandas then. He's great.
Yes.
We're getting married, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
The second ride here is Revenge of the Mummy, which is one of my favorites. This is an indoor dark ride roller coaster themed after the Brendan Fraser mummy films. The ride could be too intense for younger children as it contains dark insects, fire, and loud noises.
I said dark insects. Like, what is that?
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now, the only other attractions in New York are the Blues Brothers musical show, which takes place on Delancey Street, Marilyn and the Diamond Bellas, who often perform in front of the Mummy, and Sing It, an a cappella group who also perform on Delancey Street throughout the day.
Dining in New York can be found at Louis Italian Restaurant, a quick service restaurant, pizza, spaghetti, and salads. Finnegan's Bar and Grill, everybody's favorite, which is a table service restaurant serving fish and chips, corned beef and cabbage, Guinness beef stew, and sandwiches, and also have a very popular full-service bar.
We've never eaten.
And you've never eaten there?
Nope. I fell asleep.
The food's actually pretty good.
I've heard good things.
Yes.
Yeah. And you also have Jan serving you drinks at the bar, so shout out to Jan.
There you go.
And finally, there is a Starbucks.
I have had something there.
The shopping in New York can be found at Sahara Traders for mummy-themed apparel, toys, novelty hats, Egyptian statues, jewelry, gifts, and bugs you can eat.
Yummy.
Why would you want to do that? The Park Plaza Holiday Shop opposite Transformers is there for all of your Universal Orlando Christmas decorations.
The Film Vault has memorabilia from classic Universal movies and extinct attractions like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. There's also an arcade here if you need to get out of the rain or to cool down.
Now, San Francisco is up next. There's only one attraction in this area, and that is Fast and Furious Supercharged. Yay.
Love it,
Family.
man.
Would you really call it an attraction? I don't know.
Doesn't attract me. And it's I don't like that word. It's an attraction similar to Skull Island, Reign of Kong. No, it's not. Reign of Kong's good. You can get all your Fast and Furious family merch at the Custom Gear Store.
And get your picture with a wax work of Vin Diesel.
You know, we're never going to get the creative on this show that did that ride, just saying. Like, they'll never agree to it.
No, probably not.
We love your ride, don't worry. All right. There are 2 eateries in San Francisco. Lombard Seafood Grill, Universal Studios Florida's signature sit-down, full-service restaurant, serves seafood, chowder, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and more.
Never been there either.
Oh, I haven't either. But
Nah.
I'm not a seafood person.
Ditto.
Okay, and Richter's Burger Company, another one I've never actually been to, has burgers, including the ground shaking double cheeseburger that you can top at the Fixin's bar, plus chicken sandwiches, grilled chicken salads, and milkshakes.
The San Francisco Candy Company is your one-stop for fresh-made fudge, candy apples, gourmet cookies, and bulk candies in every colour and diabetes flavour.
And themed alcoholic drinks can be found at Chez Alcatraz too.
Yum, yum.
I need to have one from there at some point. Even though I'm not a massive alcoholic drink, I want one of those ocean attack things just to get the little
The,
show.
the shark experience.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's so cool.
I just don't like what's in it.
Yeah, just put all tequila.
Well, you can buy it. I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Sounds
like a plan.
Problem solving.
Yeah.
Now, the most recent land added to Universal Studios Florida is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley. The main attraction is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, a 3D motion-based roller coaster through the vaults of Gringotts Bank. This is nowhere near as motion sickness inducing as Forbidden Journey.
No, it isn't.
Nope. There may only be one ride here, but there are lots of other things to see. Make sure to look out for Creature in the London waterfront. And no, you don't have to knock on the door to make it happen at Grimald Place. And do not forget to say hi to the night bus conductor and the shrunken head at the actual night bus.
Of course. It's awesome. I love all the meet and greets in the parks. That's so good. Of course, once you are inside Diagon Alley, you've got to watch the stage show. That is WADA, the Wizarding Academy of Dramatic Arts, on the Carket Market stage as they perform 2 puppet shows based on the books of Tales of Beedle the Bard. At random times during the day, you can see the Tale of the Three Brothers or the Fountain of Fair Fortune.
Yes. And in between these performances, you can also see Celestina Warbeck and her backing group, the Banshees, perform some of their famous hits, including You Stole My Catching it off you now, Chris. You stole my cauldron, but you can't have my heart. And during the holidays, don't miss her seasonal set list.
Ollivanders is here and also is the same as that which can be found in Hogsmeade, but has much more capacity.
And food and drink options are in abundance here for a proper meal. The Leaky Cauldron serves typical English meals such as cottage pie, fish and chips, bangers and mash, Scotch eggs, and stew, as well as many of the Wizarding World's signature beverages.
Again, typically English in inverted commas. Sweet treats can be found in the excellent Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlour. You must go for Wizarding ice creams, flavours such as a butterbeer,
Yes.
apple crumble,
Yes.
chocolate chili, salted caramel blondie,
Good.
and then of course head over to Sugar Plums for Bertie Bott's every flavoured beans, acid pops, exploding bonbons, pink coconut ice. I'm not sure what the hell they are, and much.
You never had
much
coconut
more.
ice?
I don't know.
It sounds nice.
When
I like
I-
coconut.
When I used to like coconut, I used to love coconut ice. I'll show you some later. Yeah. Now be sure to stop by the Hopping Pot for butterbeer, pumpkin juice, Wizard's Brew, dragon scale, and many more wizarding beverages. But don't put fire whiskey in your pumpkin juice. I made a big mistake,
well,
people.
It's expensive as well for a start.
Yes. And finally, Eternal's Elixir of Refreshment. Grab a bottle of gilly water and choose your potion or flavouring from Fire Protection Potion, Babbling Beverage, Draft of Peace, and Elixir to induce Euphoria.
You're selling acid. Cool.
Yeah.
So shopping here is more prevalent than anywhere else in the park. We have Borgin and Burke's in Nocturne Alley for all your Death Eater and Dark Magic needs. We have Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes is Fred and George's famous joke shop. The Magical Menagerie stocks all your magical creatures. Quality Quidditch Supplies has all your Chudley Cannon and Quidditch needs, and Globus Mundi for your Wizarding World travel merch.
Until Chris hasn't read the book, so he has no idea what he's actually saying at this point.
Yeah.
I literally was just talking gibberish. You can even go and see the Goblin at the money exchange to change your Muggle money into nuts, sickles, and galleons.
One thing we haven't mentioned yet is the ability to buy interactive wands that can be used to perform real magic inside Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade. Look out for the markers on the ground. You will find these interactive elements in Hogsmeade also, and you can also use them at Universal Hollywood if you ever make your way out to the other coast.
Oh, I did not know that. Makes sense, I suppose. Mm-hmm. The last thing we're going to mention about this area can be found to the left of the Diagon Alley entrance, and that is King's Cross Station. We kind of mentioned it when we were in Islands of Adventure, but you can get the Hogwarts Express over to Hogsmeade, but doing it this way, you will get to go through the barrier on platform 9 3/4 to catch the Hogwarts Express.
And it does look like
it's
King's
actually
Cross.
really clever, yeah.
I was quite impressed. So, yeah.
Yeah, but of course, to do that, you do have to have a park-to-park ticket.
And now next up is World Expo, and here you'll find 2 attractions. And the first one we'll come to is Fear Factor Live, which I've never seen. It's a stage show based on the TV show of the same name, which we used to love.
Yeah.
In which park guests can join in to perform gravity-defying stunts and other challenges. Guests can sign up to participate an hour before each show in front of the stadium entrance, and this attraction is usually unavailable just prior to and a few days after Halloween Horror Nights, because obviously they use the space.
Next up, we have Men in Black Alien Attack. This is an interactive dark ride based upon the 90s film starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Shopping can be found at MIB Gear for a complete range of Men in Black gadgets and devices, plus MIB apparel, futuristic toys, holographic jewelry, an assortment of alien artifacts, and souvenirs and pop culture merch.
It sounds like the most random bunch of crap in this theme park shop has ever seen. It's like
really
holographic jewelry.
There's Marvel stuff. There's
DC
Loves
stuff.
Universal stuff.
So can't you look at a statue of Superman in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are no restaurants, but you can get ices and the like at the stand across from Men in Black, and get all your Coke products from the Coke kiosk located between Men in Black and Springfield, which is the next section of the park we enter. And that Coke kiosk is a great place to cool off. It's so super cold in there.
Well, it needs to be. The main attraction of Springfield is Simpsons The Ride, which is a 2D motion-based simulator attraction that you would have seen in every theme park in the late 90s.
Yeah.
That will make you so much sicker than
No,
Forbidden
it
Journey.
doesn't. No, I disagree.
Oh, yes, it does. That is the only ride that I cannot ride because of motion sickness. I have to keep my eyes closed the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, wow. The final ride in Springfield is Cannon Kodos Twirl and Hurl. Please don't hurl. An interactive family spinner ride in which guests must try to move their vehicles to trigger targets that will set off special effects.
The main place for food close to World Expo can be found in Springfield at Fast Food Boulevard. At the entrance, you will find Moe's Tavern, where you can enjoy a real Duff beer, locally brewed, exclusively for Universal Orlando Resort. Be sure to try the Love Tester machine in the corner, but forget about the jukebox. It's broken, as usual.
In Fast Food Boulevard itself, you can find Krusty Burger for a Krusty certified meat sandwich, including the legendary Krusty Burger, Clogger Burger, the Rib Witch, Sideshow Bob's Footlong, or a Heat Lamp Dog.
Burger.
Yes. There's the Frying Dutchman for a basket o' shrimp, the basket o' calamari, the basket o' bait, which is fried fish, shrimp, and calamari, battered and plattered fish, or the clam chowder.
Cletus Chicken Shack serves the chicken and waffle sandwich. Yes.
Yes.
The double battered chicken platter, chicken arms, and chicken thumbs.
Who doesn't want chicken thumbs?
That gets 2 chicken thumbs up from me.
Luigi's Pizza for cheese pizza, the vegetarian pizza, or the meat likers pizza. And Lisa's Tea House of Horror for healthy and delicious prepackaged items that Lee loves, such as salads, veggie sandwiches, turkey wraps,
No thanks.
hummus, fruit plates, fruit cups, and assorted yogurts.
And apple crisps.
Weird. The
And
annoying
the big
thing is,
pink donut.
though, I've had turkey wrap before, and it was amazing the first time. The second time, it was kind of like, what the hell is this? So,
Outside, you will find Bumblebee Man Taco Truck. The star of Channel Ocho's long-running variety show brings a muy bueno taste of Mexican street food to the streets of Springfield.
And
It's
it
so
is
good.
Awesome. Yeah, it really is.
so good.
Also, out in the streets, you will find Lad Lad Donuts, where you will find the giant Lad Lad Donut,
Apparently very nice.
some ice cream, and of course the brain-freezing donut sundae, which looks better than it is.
And finally, Duff Brewery. Yes. You can sit by the waterside or at the bar and sample 3 different Duffs. Yes, you should. Squishies and famous Flaming Moor. Have a Duff.
Just be
I don't care if you're
careful.
7.
You need to be careful with the dry ice as well in the Flaming Moor.
It's weak
Yeah.
orange squash.
But it's
You gotta
cool.
eat that first.
It's not. It's horrible.
No, it's
Eat it
cool.
first.
It's a cool... It's not about the drink. It's about the experience.
Do you know what? Put the dry ice in a Duff. I'll be happy. I'll have a
There
Flaming
you go.
Duff. Yeah.
Shopping in Springfield can be found at the Quickie Mart, which is your place to stock up on Simpsons themed toys, t-shirts, books, souvenirs, and more.
Next up, Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone is Universal Studio Florida's area dedicated to kids and families. Here you will find many attractions for smaller kids. Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster is a family roller coaster.
And just like Flight of the Hippogriff, it might knock you back in as well. The E.T. Adventure, which is Tracy's
love E.T..
favourite Universal Orlando attraction, and is one of only, I think, 2 current opening day attractions at Universal. Yeah. It is a dark ride in which you ride bicycles as you go through the iconic journey of the movie of E.T. and then go some weird trippy planet thing at the end. It's mental, but it's funny.
I love it.
It's a trip.
It really is an acid trip.
Yeah. Now, only one show can be found in Kid Zone, and that's Animal Actors on Location, which is a theatre-style show in which you can see handlers showcase how filmmakers use animals in movies, and there are some cute animals.
But not right now.
This area also contains 2 huge children's play areas. Fievel's Playground. Kids can run, jump, climb, and bounce through this outdoor playground filled with oversized props from the films An American Tail and Fievel Goes West.
Which your children will not know at all.
I mean, I know it, so for sure other children are not going to know it.
And Curious George Goes to Town. Curious little ones can explore the colorful animal show tent with plenty of play activities for toddlers and mamas who like to hit small children with foam balls. Lots of
So
fun.
why haven't I ever been in there then? Kids Zone Dining can be found at the quick service Kids Zone Pizza Company, where there's pizza, and if you like Halloween Horror Nights, pizza fries can be there, but apparently is only open seasonally.
And shopping here can be found at the not-to-be-missed SpongeBob Store Pants for all your bikini bottom goodies. And I love it in there because
It's awesome, yeah.
there's changing posters and there's the gags.
The best thing is
everywhere.
every purchase comes with a free souvenir receipt.
Yeah. Makes me laugh every time. There's also E.T.'s Toy Closet for E.T. merch and the Barney Store for all your Barney stuff.
If it's still
I was gonna
open,
say
I'm
which
not
assuming.
actually sure the Barney Store's still open, but quite probably.
Was it the Barney Store where I had my troll experience?
Yes.
Yeah. We had matching hair.
It wasn't an internet troll, by the way.
Oh.
Moving on to the final area of Universal Studios Florida, we enter Hollywood. We have 2 attractions here. Entering from Kids Zone, we hit the Universal Horror Makeup Show first, which is a comedic stage show themed around horror movie effects that could be too much for smaller children.
Take them.
Do not miss this
Just
show.
enough for smaller children. The second attraction is the Bourne Stuntacular, a theater show that follows Jason Bourne around the globe as sinister characters pursue him. This action-packed show features thrilling chase scenes, punishing fistfights, death-defying leaps, and danger at every turn.
And I am so desperate to see it.
That looks awesome.
It is so amazing.
Dining in Hollywood can be found at Mel's Drive-In. It's a bit bland, but it's got burgers and fries, chicken sandwiches, chicken fingers, onion rings, root beer floats, frosty milkshakes in a 50s style setting. But that place looks its best during Halloween Horror Nights when it says Mel's Dine-In.
I love Mel's.
Hey, it's served good coffee in there. I'm fussy over my coffee and I like it from there. Schwab's Pharmacy is an old school soda fountain in which guests can purchase ice cream sundaes, milkshakes, malts, banana splits, Dole Whips and ice cream floats. But again, it's only open seasonally.
Central Park Crepes for sweet and savory crepes at the entrance to Central Park.
Something else I'm desperate to try.
And finally, the Today Cafe for baked goods, freshly prepared salads, tasty sandwiches, and specialty coffees.
Best place in the park for just a quick bite to eat.
And matcha green tea puffs. Yes, please.
Shopping can be found in... I'm not actually sure whether this shop's still called Cyber Image or whether it was ever called Cyber Image because it doesn't actually have a presence even on the Universal website, but it's the one at the end of Bourne, and you can buy all your Bourne stuff, and there's like classic monsters and all sorts of Universal crap in there.
Cool shop. The Betty Boop store for all your Betty Boop themed collectibles, jewellery, toys, gifts and apparel. And the Hello Kitty shop in which you can purchase everything Hello Kitty and Sanrio, as well as meet Hello Kitty herself. And I think Jade and I basically wanted to buy one of everything in that store.
She went mental in there, didn't she?
I had to hold myself back as well. Williams of Hollywood sells props that were actually used in attractions around the parks. Yes.
Yeah. Finally, we come to the Brown Derby Hat Shop for headwear of all types. The annual pass holder lounge can be found here, which is a calm, relaxing place for AP holders to chill, grab a drink, and more importantly, pick up their exclusive pins and magnets.
And this month's is awesome. This month's pin is awesome.
Oh, so good.
Universal Studios Florida also offers a daily parade and a nighttime lagoon show. During normal operation, the Superstar Parade takes place in the park either mid-afternoon or early evening and features EB from Hop, Gru, the Girls, and Minions from Despicable Me, Dora and Diego, and SpongeBob SquarePants.
Let's see if that comes back post-COVID. And the Lagoon Show is Universal's Cinematic Celebration, which is Universal Studios Florida's nighttime extravaganza. It features huge water screens and some little bit of fireworks. The show usually takes place around park close, but again, check your park maps. It's no marathon of mayhem, but worth a check.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffalo trees in Seuss Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than wands and potions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse & Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs, earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a You Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse & Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rated customer service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a no-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you want to go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
And next up is Universal Orlando's water theme park, Volcano Bay. And as you know, Chris has refused to visit Volcano Bay until it's fully COVID restriction free, so we've left him back in the studios. Yeah. He'll be there. He's looking after the bags. It's all right.
I'm surprised. This was his park, but Michelle, we're going to have to lean on you for little hints and tips for this one.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. So, Volcano Bay can be accessed by a resort bus from the parking hub or by special walkway for those staying at Cabana Bay. And the park is split into 4 areas, which are the Volcano, Wave Village, Rainforest Village, and River Village.
Oh, it's all villages.
It is all villages.
So
One of the main features of Volcano Bay is their Tapu Tapu wristbands. You'll use it to ride most of the attractions at the park by using the virtual line, activate interactive surprises, open rental lockers, make cash-free payments, and more.
Oh, and more. I wonder what else you can do with it. The volcano contains just one attraction, and that is the interactive Vol, the Spirit of Krakatoa, which is about the only thing we've really experienced attraction-wise at Volcano Bay.
Quite cool, though.
It is quite cool.
Yeah. Now, moving clockwise from the entrance, we come to the Rainforest Village, and it contains 8 slides that I am probably going to hash up every single name.
We're all going to mess these names up, don't
Speak
worry.
for yourself, thank you.
Oh, someone's just set himself up there.
Might even his homework.
Yeah. We have the Carla and Tainui Serpentine Body Slides, which trapdoors plunge 2 guests, not together, separate trapdoors. Oh, that could be painful. Separate trapdoors plunge 2 guests separately down clear, separate intertwining tubes before sending them splashing into the turquoise waters below.
Good God, that would really hurt if you did it together, wouldn't it?
My mind's gone in a completely different direction, but please let's move on.
Wow, okay. Yes, let's go to the oh yeah and oh no drop slides. You can take the plunge down a serpentine adventure that ends 6 feet above an awaiting pool.
Well, one of them does. One of them, it's about 3 feet.
Yeah. That's a fun place to just sit and watch, because I'm not a slide rider, but I do enjoy watching other people's slides. So that's a fun one, just to see unsuspecting people like drop when they weren't really
Expecting it.
expecting that at the end. Yeah. All right. I have no idea how to say this. Maku Puihi round raft rides. The Maku is a 6-person raft ride that speeds through a volcanic gorge before spinning around bowl-like formations. Oh, God, no. When a geyser blasts, you're sucked into a watery vortex and deposited into a calm pool at the canyon's end.
Is that the big blue one that's got like the big toilet bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And Puihi is also a multi-person rafting ride where you feel the thrill of zero gravity hang time before you explode out into the far side of an immense funnel, then splash your way to the bottom.
Interesting. Zero gravity on a water slide?
Right? I'm trying to think of which one that would be.
Next to Pooh, and it's next to Maku.
Do you think that's the one that has the big
Funnel.
like wall almost that you kind of go up and then
I thought that was
fall
the
back
other
down?
one. I thought that was
Maybe-
I thought
maybe
that
that
was
was the other
Maku.
one.
Yeah. We're
Don't
terrible
know.
at this, by the way. Don't listen to us,
But
people.
You really are.
Puihi explosions don't sound good in a
No,
water
shut up.
ride.
This was Chris's territory. Moving on, we have Taniwa tubes, which are apparently split into 2, and you have Tonga, which is the Waturi mirrored at the coiling trunks of the tallest puka trees when they built 2 curving green water slides. Try both tracks, but watch out for the tiki statues that surprise you with sprays of water, of course.
Cool.
And Reiki is a head massage. No, it's not. It's inspired by twisting roots of the puka trees. The Waturi built 2 twisting blue water slides.
And then we have Punga Races, which is a single rider mat slide down 4 lanes through underwater sea caves. And to this day, the first racer to cross the finish line receives a celebratory spray of water. That's not easy to say. A special salute from Punga himself.
Oh, I don't want to know where that spray comes from then.
Oh, goodness. And there is also Tewa, the Fearless River. Head to Hammerhead Beach and take a thrilling whitewater ride along Tewa, the Fearless River. Put on your life vest and race along a roaring, watery onslaught of churning rapids and chopping waves. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite things to do at Volcano Bay.
See, I love a
Love
lazy
it.
river. I've never been on like a fast
not lazy river.
Yeah.
It is very much a not lazy river.
Yes.
With friends, it's awesome. You really do need those life jackets because the depth kind of changes depending on how
Oh.
big the waves are.
Okay.
and you don't really, once you've done it a few times, you kind of know where the waves are going to come at you and stuff. But especially that first time around, it's a bit rough. Lots of kids in there. Although with my own child, I was a little bit nervous because it goes super fast and it's kind of hard to keep your hands, together and keep up with each other. But I've had lots of fun in that river.
I don't like it. It does sound fun.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Puka Uli Lagoon. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss named all of these. Oh, controversial. This relaxing leisure pool features playful elements that even the tiniest Waturi can enjoy. So it's for kids then.
Oh. And there's also Hammerhead Beach for a relaxing spot.
And eating can be found at Bamboo Chef for crafted burgers, fish and chicken sandwiches, chicken fingers, edamame and quinoa burgers, fruit, salads, and desserts.
Chickens don't have fingers. They have thumbs.
They do, apparently. Nice throwback, by the way. The Feasting Frog, which is where I know where you'd find Tracy. That's tacos and nachos. Yes, please.
Yes.
And
it's so good.
Yeah, we never got to eat there.
We've got to eat anywhere.
I wasn't really hungry, but and there is the Kanuku Boat Bar, which is a full-service bar with tropical island drinks, which is where you'll find Michelle.
Yep.
And me.
Every time.
Yeah. Next up we have the River Village. This area contains 3 rides. The Krakatoa Aqua Coaster, a 4-person canoe which slides through the mists and into the dark twists and turns within the volcano before emerging with a plunge through a shimmering waterfall.
Which looks awesome.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
That's the signature ride of Volcano Bay, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And it's worth the hype. It's a lot of fun for sure.
Awesome.
You can't be sensitive about your weight when you go on that one because it's very obvious.
Oh yeah.
The bigger person has to go in the back. So, I mean, it just is how it is. So, can't be shy about that.
Okay.
That'll be me then.
Behave yourself.
The Onu Ika Moana. Onu sweeps up massive walls emblazoned with Waturi turtles in this twisting, turning, multi-person slide. And then there's the Ika Moana. Ika Moana sprays water like a whale's blowhole from the center of the raft in this twisting, turning, multi-person slide.
Now that sounds interesting.
It does.
Michelle, have you ridden everything at Volcano Bay?
No. No, I'm really not a water slide person.
I haven't done any.
They kind of scare me a lot. But I think I've done the Onu.
Oh no.
The multi-person slide.
Oh no is the drop one, but not as high as oh yeah. Or is oh no the taller one?
I would say oh no would be the taller one.
Probably.
Oh no. Oh yeah. It depends on your point of view.
The multi-person raft slide thing. I think that's the one I've done.
Okay.
And I screamed my head off the entire time.
Oh my God.
I did. And I got to the bottom and the lifeguard there was laughing his head off and he said, "So who was screaming the entire time?" I said, "That would be me." So
doesn't surprise me, but okay. Moving on, we have 2 kids areas. The first one is Runamucka Reef. And this is a favourite play place for Waturi children with its geysers, water guns, slides and dump cups. I wish they'd call that something else.
Perfect for a kids'
terrible.
area.
I do not want to be going
when
into
you gotta go,
play.
you gotta go.
Dump cups. There's no toilets nearby.
Like
apparently not.
So
just
pee
dump in
bottles
the
and dump cups.
a lot of these rides have toilet themes.
They do, you're right. It is shaded by bamboo sea creatures and waving seaweed. This whimsical play structure is the most playful spot in the park.
And there's also Tot Tiki Reef, where even the youngest Waturi can get in on the fun. Play among splashy slides, a tot-sized water volcano, a family of tikis with spraying fountains, and singing whales.
Awesome.
That's cool.
And they're very strict about the height limits because they won't let me play.
Oh.
These are the slides I would actually go on. But even Chrissa's too tall for them. Poor little Chrissa. 9 years old, but too tall to ride the kid rides.
Oh.
Yeah. Also found here is Kopiko Y Winding River. This is more my speed. Take a slow ride through the tropical landscape of Universal's Volcano Bay. Sprays of water surprise along the way, and beneath the lava rocks, Stargazer's Cavern reveals the magical night sky above.
It's those water sprays that get me. I remember going to Blizzard Beach, I'm going to blaspheme now and talk about the one down the road. And there's one in the middle of that lazy river, the crocodile in like the house, and that water was freezing.
Icy.
Oh, yeah.
We were there in November as well.
It was, yeah.
It was hot to us.
All the lifeguards had fleeces and hoodies and tracksuits on, and we were like, hey, there's the Brits.
He's Lee in his bikini.
I didn't have a bikini on. I had a one piece.
Oh, did. In this one, everybody can scorch you using their tapu. So it's kind of fun.
For those not on the river here. For food, we have Wakawewe Eats, and they have specialty pizzas, foot-long hot dogs on pretzel buns, yes please, fruit, salad, jerk, mac and cheese, and desserts.
Sounds good to me. Now, the last area to cover is the Wave Village, which contains Kokiri Body Plunge. This features a 70-degree fall through a drop floor, no thank you, and 125 feet of white-knuckle fun. Nope. This dizzying descent ends with a watery tribute from Vol himself. Good for Vol.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
For those of us that are too scared to go on that, you can go into the pool and actually like hang on to the slide itself. It's clear. And when the people come through the tube, they like shoot right past you. It's kind of fun.
Cool.
All right. The reef. Watch the bravest Waturi ride Ko'okiri from the comfort of this peaceful leisure pool. Look at that. A clear plexi tube shoots straight through the 5.5-foot deep shallows, which feature its own private waterfall, perfect for frolicking. I don't know that it's perfect for frolicking, but
frolicking not frowned upon in the parks.
Yeah, the lifeguards might get onto you for frolicking, but you can go back there, and the waterfall is super, super strong. Like it falls on you like hard, but it's fun going back there.
And finally, we have Waturi Beach, with an unforgettable view of Krakatoa, the mighty volcano, and its stunning series of waterfalls that pour into the sparkling lagoon. You can swim, splash, and relax right along with them. And let's be honest, we haven't talked about it yet, but that view of Volcano Bay, of the volcano, is stunning. We haven't talked about walking into that park for the first time and rounding that corner and seeing it. Pictures do not do it justice. It's stunning.
It's breathtaking.
It's so beautiful. I love it. And see, that's why, even though I'm not a water park person, I spend a lot of time at Volcano Bay. I don't have to ride the rides to enjoy it. Just the scenery is so relaxing and amazing.
I would actually like to go and be there like at dusk and as night's falling, because I bet it's stunning, that transformation.
Yeah.
So food and drink can be found at the Dancing Dragon's Boat Bar, which is a full-service bar with tropical island drinks.
Yep, another place that I frequent. Kohola Reef Restaurant and Social Club. Ribs, chicken, pizza, fruit, salads, guava, tapioca, pudding, and desserts. Also, one of my favorite places at Volcano Bay, I have been known to make a trip over to Volcano Bay just to get this, is Coca Paroca ice cream. It's found kind of towards the front of the park near the gift shop, so you don't have to venture too far into the park to get to it, but they have the greatest soft serve ice cream ever. With different flavors that you can mix and toppings that you can mix in. It's awesome. And they make waffle cones right there on site.
Awesome.
So good. Yep.
Very cool. The food isn't as extensive as it was when the park first opened, which is such a shame. But what there is there still is better than the general theme park crap.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, totally agree. Yep. And just to remind you guys, make sure you check height and weight limits, because many of the slides do have them.
Yeah, weight limits is the one I think would catch a lot of people out.
Yeah,
some of them. They change all the time as well. When it first opened, they seem to change the weight limits on a lot of the ones that had them constantly.
Well, that'll be the water coaster, won't it?
No, there's quite a few. There's quite a few, I think.
And
weight
probably the
limits
drop
on
slides.
Well, because you go too fast.
Yeah. And don't worry, because they're not going to make you stand on a scale and everybody around you see your weight. The scales kind of blend into the floor.
Yeah.
So they just have you stand there, and I don't know exactly where the team member is able to read it. I've never been able to see the screen where they're able to see the weight. So
there's a camera.
You don't have to worry about it.
There's a camera, and they flash it up at the front of the park for everybody coming in.
It goes straight to the Facebook page.
Yeah.
But they are very discreet about it. So
That's good.
Good, but Forbidden Journey when that first
but
opens.
still check it before you go, just to know.
Right, when you are at Volcano Bay, being able to lounge is one of the things you are going to need to do, so make sure to look into your options for seating, as there are quite a few. There's just regular lounges scattered throughout the park, but there are upcharges as well. The Volcano Bay offers premium seating, which is a pair of padded lounge chairs with an adjustable shade canopy, a lockbox, and an area attendant to provide food and drink service. These seats start at $50 for a pair of lounges, which I actually don't think
really
that's bad.
good.
Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because you have it for the whole day.
Yep.
And just being able to have somebody bring you your food and drink is worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually say having somewhere to put your stuff in and lock it is probably one of the biggest benefits for that.
Yeah.
That's true. Because, I mean, if you're bringing anything with you at all, you really need to rent a locker anyway. And that's going to cost you, last time I was there, I think it was about $15 just for the locker itself. So.
Yeah.
Then that's $30 for two of you if you haven't got a locker each. So $50 isn't bad.
Yep.
Well, if I ever do that, they're going to get the steps in because I'm eating all day long. I'm just going to sit and eat. So,
which is
your
why the
poor
next
wallet.
one's much in your more in your
ballpark.
But that's the one.
Yeah. So yes, then they offer single and family cabanas, which come with towel service, padded lounge chairs, complimentary fruit and snack basket, small fridge, and a concierge service. Now, the single cabanas start at $159.99 plus tax. The family cabanas start at $299.99 plus tax.
$160 isn't bad. You get that, and they're pretty cool actually.
And singles, what is that for two people then?
No, I think it's just for
I think it's 6 people are allowed in there.
Oh, I thought that was a family one.
No, the family suite holds up to 16 people.
Holy crap!
Single cabana, this is off of the Universal website. Single cabana holds up to 6 people. Family suites hold up to 16 people.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay.
Wow. 16, like you could get like 3 or 4 families in there, and if you split it, that $300 isn't bad at all.
As long as it's families that you know, because I always end up getting stuck talking to the strangers.
No, of course it's family, because you book it yourself. But the thing is, because you get your own little tapu thing in there, so you can book all your rides through there without having to go in and stuff as well. And like you say, you've got a runner basically just goes, fetch me food.
Yep.
This is something that is on my wish list to do when we go there, because I'm not the biggest water park fan, but I like being in water parks.
Yeah, I'm
and
the same.
the idea for me, because we never have downtime on our holidays, the idea for me to be able to take a book and actually sit and read and veg out for a bit is bliss. So I'd be bored after half an hour, but
let's make it happen.
I want to do that.
I don't.
Well, you go somewhere
Tracy,
else.
you can come with me.
Thank
you can come with me.
Yep.
There's reasons why, and I'm not getting into
Girls'
it right
Day.
Well, Chris will probably join us too.
Girls' Day.
Finishing up our tour of Universal Orlando Resort, we will look at the Lowe's operated on-site hotels. They are split into 4 categories: value, prime value, preferred, and premier. Hotel privileges include early park admission, resort-wide charging privileges with room key, and complimentary delivery of merchandise purchased throughout the resort to your hotel. The 2 value hotels actually sit on the corner of iDrive and Universal Boulevard and are the resort's newest properties. The Endless Summer Resort is split into the Surfside Inn and Suites and the Dockside Inn and Suites. This fun, family-oriented resort introduces extra affordability to your Universal vacation. Both sides feature spacious 2-bedroom suites that sleep up to 6, making it the perfect spot for families of any size to experience a Universal Orlando Resort vacation. Both hotels have free regular shuttles to Universal Orlando Resort, pools, many food and drink options, and much more.
And apparently you can walk there. You can walk to the park from there. I think Seth said he did it.
You can. It's just a long walk.
Yeah, you just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Moving on, the next one, Universal's Aventura Hotel, which is a prime value hotel, is the modern and stylish place to stay and is within walking distance of Universal's Volcano Bay and offers great views of all 3 Universal Orlando theme parks and is underscored by a design that is vibrant, free-flowing, and calming. Michelle, have you stayed at Aventura?
I have.
I will get there in a second then. It contains a mix of standard rooms, family suites that sleep up to 5. How was it?
It's not my favorite resort that Universal has, but it is very modern. I love all of the technology in the rooms. You're able to turn on the lights and order room service and control the TV with an iPad that's in your room. So that's kind of cool. It just seemed very sterile to me. It's all very white and very...
Like, I want to stay every resort on property, but that's one
It smacks of a conference hotel.
It would be just like at the bottom of the list, really. I was like, I'll stay at all the rest and then just do that, just to sort of
tick it off the box. Tick it off the list. Yeah,
just to tick it off the list. Yeah.
It feels very IKEA.
Oh, in that case, I love it. You mean
I did love the rooftop bar. Yeah, the rooftop bar is amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of,
yes. So dining here, we have Bar 17 Bistro, and this is on the rooftop of Aventura, as you may have just heard, and offers unique dishes as well as classic fare and custom-crafted cocktails. They sound dangerous.
The view from the top of there's got to be amazing.
Yes.
Oh, it is beautiful, and they do have very interesting signature cocktails that are made with very fresh ingredients. Like I ordered a strawberry daiquiri, which is like the most basic thing in the world, but they made it with all fresh ingredients, and they threw in some extra healthy crap. I don't know. But it wasn't your standard strawberry daiquiri.
Okay.
Moving on. Urban Pantry. This food hall has international flavors at the roast kitchen, a custom wok dish at the Asian station, or burgers and pizza made to order. Open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.
Sounds like a good place.
It is. It was pretty pricey, though, I thought.
I've heard that about a lot of the places at Aventura, to be honest. Moving on, we have Bar Ventura. Nice pun there, by the way. This lobby bar is contemporary and inviting. This breezy and comfortable meeting space is the perfect before or after dinner hangout. And another bar, I don't know why I've given myself all the bars, Bar Sol, which has frozen cocktails, frozen drinks, cocktails, beer, and wine.
And it's also got a Starbucks.
Surprise, surprise.
Of course it does. Aventura also features a pool, a splash zone for kids, and a fire pit. All
for kids.
Just kind of very basic pool.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. And I wouldn't even consider that really a splash zone for kids.
Right. And like most on-site hotels, it also has a fitness center, a games room, and a Universal Studios store, of course.
Mm-hmm. At Universal Orlando's resort kids camps, kids can kick back with supervised fun and entertainment while the adults enjoy time to themselves. I like that idea. There is a fee and advance reservations are recommended.
Okie dokie.
And up next is Cabana Bay Beach Resort. This is the other prime value hotel and has a retro theme based around your typical old school road trip vacations. It has standard rooms and family suites that sleep up to 6. The showstopper rooms are the Volcano Bay view rooms that have floor-to-ceiling windows that give fantastic views of Volcano Bay, and that they do.
I want to stay in there. That is my bucket list item because I think I'd just sit in front of the window and like never leave.
So beautiful. So there's a plus and a downside. The plus is the view, of course, but they're the furthest away from the buses and the furthest away from the food, the main lobby area, all of the goodies. It's kind of far away from all that stuff. So
I've heard they're quite noisy because you hear the drums start at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
I've stayed in them twice and I've never experienced that, but I'm not a light sleeper, I guess.
In Royal Pacific, we could hear things starting up.
Not drums.
There was something going on.
Not drums.
You sleep through everything.
I didn't sleep through anything.
Well, you didn't hear it because I
slept for like 3 hours a night.
But I was hearing stuff over there.
Anyway, I thought we were supposed to be in a family suite, and ours wouldn't have slept 6 people.
The one that you stayed in last time?
Yes.
Well, technically it does.
It didn't have slidey.
All 3 of those beds are queens.
There wasn't 3 beds in there. There was only 2.
And the couch is a pull-out.
You only had 1 bed in the bedroom area?
What? No, there was 2 bedrooms in the bedroom area.
There was 2 beds, not 2 bedrooms.
And that was it.
And the pull-out sofa.
That's not a bed.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Anyway, the resort also features a 10-lane bowling alley. a 10-lane bowling alley, the Galaxy Bowl, this isn't badly priced actually, I don't think. It's $15 plus $4 shoe rental for 1 hour's bowling for 1 to 3 people, or 1.5 hours for 4 to 8 people. I think we've had this conversation.
Is that per person $15?
Yeah, we've had this conversation recently. I don't think that's bad.
I think it's $15 for the lane plus $4 per person for the shoes.
Okay,
See, that's really good. No, that's cheap. That's
really
unbelievably cheap if that's the case. Cabana Bay has 2 pools, one with a water slide and the other has a lazy river. How much of a lazy river is it, Michelle? How long does it take
lazy.
to go? How long does it take to go around it?
Oh,
a week?
I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, but it's
it's
small, but it moves so slow and it's very shallow. So you pretty much need something to float on. Otherwise, you're just walking.
Okay.
The hotel also features the Jack LaLanne physical fitness studio, as well as an arcade, and of course the obligatory Universal Studios store.
And then we have the Bayliner Diner Food Court, which is a 600-seat grab-and-go centre for burgers, milkshakes, pizza, pasta, a bakery, sandwiches, and more.
There's a lot of options
There was.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, so good too.
I had a breakfast burrito
was
twice.
good there.
Yep. And back to Galaxy Bowl. Galaxy Bowl has a limited seating, full-service dining option, appetizers, sandwiches, burgers, pizza, and hot dogs. And they also do a happy hour with cocktails.
Cool. Drunk bowling.
I don't think that sounds like a good idea. There is also an on-site Starbucks, and the pool bars offer signature frozen drinks and smoothies.
Now, guests can get to and from the parks and City Walk by shuttle bus or by the walkway that takes approximately 15 minutes.
Michelle, I was going to ask you if you've ever done that, but I know the answer's no.
I'm trying to think if I have. Nope, I haven't.
You don't even walk from Royal Pacific. You're not walking over there.
Well, when we were there with some of our agents a couple of years ago, we walked to tour the hotels. So we went from Cabana Bay, but we went to Sapphire and then got on a water taxi.
Fair.
So no, I did not walk all the way to City Walk.
No, I know you didn't. It was a silly question to ask.
Speaking of Sapphire Falls, Sapphire Falls is right across the street from Cabana Bay and is a Caribbean-themed hotel that is the only preferred hotel in the group.
And she's not kidding when
now,
she
at
says
least.
right across the street, because it literally is like we ran across the road to get to Cabana Bay after we'd been at, what you might call it.
Those roads don't look quite so wide when you're driving along them, and when you have to run across them.
It's a good job it was 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sapphire Falls features 1,000 rooms, of which 83 are suites. Rooms offer free Wi-Fi for up to 4 devices. Pets are permitted for a $50 a night fee, but no more than 2 pets per room.
So you've got 3, or you've got to pick between.
Yeah, just leave one at home. It also has one 16,000 square foot pool with a hot tub, a kids' water play area, and a slide. And it has a health and fitness centre, which is the Kalina Health and Fitness Centre, which is complimentary. It also has the obligatory games room that will cost a fortune, and the Universal Studios store.
Mm-hmm. Now, dining options here include the Amatista Cookhouse, featuring Caribbean cuisine, which is on my list. The Drum Club Canteen for tap-style menu, also on my list. And the new Dutch Trading Company is a grab-and-go option. I'll stick that on the list as well. It's all food.
And finally, we get to Chris's favorite, Strong Water Tavern, which features rum and a ceviche bar. Guests can use the complimentary water taxis or take the lovely walk to City Walk. Unlike the next 3 hotels, Surfside, Dockside, Aventura, Cabana Bay, and Sapphire Falls do not, I repeat, do not include complimentary express passes.
Which is why you might want to stay at the next 3, because the next one is Lowe's Royal Pacific Resort, and it is the first of Universal's premier hotels. That's right, you heard me right. I said premier, not premier, which give guests complimentary unlimited express on the day of check-in and of check-out. And just to clarify, all in between.
Yes.
And it is well worth it. It's one of the first episodes we ever did of this podcast, was going through the express options. And at the time, to get unlimited express for 2 days cost something like $1,000, and yet you could get a night at the hotel for like $320.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
That was the investigative journalism we were doing way back when we began UUOP 10 years ago.
And this is still, if anybody tells me that they plan a trip, this is always, and they're not staying on site, this is always my top tip, is go and treat yourself to an extra night, a holiday and get this.
Even if you just do it for one night, it's worth it for those 2 days.
Exactly.
The resort is themed after the South Pacific and features 1,000 rooms, 8 Jurassic Park-themed kids suites, 40 suites, and 952 standard rooms.
I like this hotel, and one time we are going to have a suite. I have just decided.
We were in the middle of the jungle last time.
Yeah, we were. Now, the Royal Pacific Resort features 1 pool, 2 hot tubs, an interactive water play area for kids, a beach volleyball court, and private cabanas to rent. On selective nights, the dive-in movie will be screened at the pool.
Dining consists of the Island's dining room, which offers traditional breakfast with a Polynesian twist. And oh my God, it's so good.
Yes. I'm drooling.
And Pan-Asian cuisine for dinner.
I wish I was just hungry that first morning we went, because I just wasn't.
I wasn't even hungry, and I ate plenty.
You ate.
Well, next time we know to schedule that breakfast later in the week.
That's a good idea.
Instead of the beginning.
Yes. Somewhere I know Tracy is desperate to go to and we haven't yet is the Orchid Court Lounge and Sushi Bar, which serves sushi and South Seas martinis.
Yes.
There's a new lobby marketplace that has just opened, the Tuk Tuk Market, which has got grab-and-go stuff for breakfast and whatever through the day. And then there is the Bula Bar and Grill, which is your poolside eatery.
Awesome. And then there's Jake's American Bar for lunch and dinner, serving burgers, chicken, fish, and more.
More. I like more.
Yes.
The Royal Pacific Resort also hosts the Wantalan Luau. Not right now, but they will again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
A weekly Hawaiian dinner show featuring an all-you-can-eat buffet of Polynesian specialties, live Hawaiian music, and traditional hula dancing. A character breakfast is also held at the resort. Again, not now, but it will again in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, they don't. I'm not a massive character meal person, but Universal miss out on them. They don't do anywhere near enough.
No,
they don't.
Moving on, we have the second premier hotel at Universal Orlando, and that is the Hard Rock Hotel, which also features complimentary unlimited express passes as part of your stay.
Mm-hmm. And it features 650 rooms, 12 all-American music, not music, that's only for cows, music-themed kid suites, 489 standard rooms, 86 club-level standard rooms, 42 deluxe rooms, and 21 other suites.
What are those other suites?
Sheds.
No.
Cupboards.
They'll be like the presidential suite.
Maybe. The Hard Rock Hotel has 1 pool, which features a 260-foot water slide, as well as music that plays under the water. And guests can also take part in dive-in movies here too on select nights. When I say take part in, I'm pretty sure it just means watch, not actually act.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, actually.
It would be cool, but yes, it's just watching. Although you can swim and watch at the same time, which is pretty nice. There are 2 main dining options at the Hard Rock Hotel. The kitchen serves a breakfast as well as lunch and dinner. They also offer the famous Kitchen Sink Challenge. Take it on if you dare.
And if you've been listening to the podcast long enough, you will know that we've tried it twice. We even had the lovely Katina on recently who's tried it and defeated it. And then Tom from Tom's Big Eats not that long ago who also completed it. We, on the other hand, did not complete it.
But I'm still going in for a third attempt.
I'm not. I'm done with it now. The Palm is the other option, and it is a famed New York steakhouse open for dinner only. And it's very expensive. Alexa, I'm still not paying for yours. You can also go to Emac and Bolio's Marketplace for ice cream, sorbets, and frozen yogurt. As
well as breakfast. They
Really?
do have like breakfast burritos and Starbucks there.
The Velvet Bar for a chilled martini or cocktail and appetizers. And the Beach Club is a poolside bar for Cabo Wabo cocktails, light snacks, and refreshing drinks. Cabo Wabo. I've heard that a lot recently.
Yeah. The hotel features complimentary fitness centre, the Rock Shop for all your Hard Rock merchandise, which has some good stuff. I did buy some.
It does, you're right.
It does.
And once a month, guests can purchase tickets for Velvet Sessions, which is a live concert in the hotel lobby featuring some great acts. Guests can get to city walk at the parks by either walking the short walk through the Butterfly Garden, which actually is quite a nice
Michelle's
walk.
going to go, Butterfly Garden? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I have. I actually walk when I stay at Hard Rock Hotel.
Because it's less than 5 minutes away.
Or you can get a water taxi. However, just from our experience, where that is positioned on the water taxi route, We ended up walking after standing in the rain because the taxis are invariably full from other guests from the other hotels. So
I will say one hint here is one of the things they do when you check in is they recycle all their old room keys into plectrums, and they are so cool.
We came back with handfuls of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And the final hotel and flagship, Portofino Bay, is themed to Portofino, Italy.
I wonder why I gave you this one, Michelle.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I love it so much. The hotel features 750 rooms consisting of 242 standard rooms, 18 Despicable Me themed kid suites, which are super cute, although I haven't stayed in one, 94 club level deluxe rooms, and 21 suites. I really thought that hotel had a lot more rooms than that. It seems like it does.
I don't know, but my maths doesn't add up, but anyway.
No, it really doesn't.
It doesn't.
No way,
You missed something. It has a lot more standard rooms than that, for sure.
I'm not going to question that. It features 3 pools. The beach pool has a sandy bottom and water slide and features diving movies. And I know it doesn't say that, but I just think it was funnier.
I don't like the beach because I got a sandy
The
bottom.
villa pool has upgraded amenities for a relaxing couple of hours or an afternoon. And the hillside pool is a quiet pool offering more privacy.
The beach pool is so amazing, though, that they have loungers that have really thick cushions on them, so they're super comfy. And they have waiters that come to your chair and bring you food and drinks all night long. It's wonderful.
I need that.
And sing,
need that in my
just one cornetto, give it to me.
Good job, Lee.
You'd have to live with it.
You should work at Mama Della's, Lee.
Oh, I'd love to.
Imagine that commute every day.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I'm going to be a bit late.
Dining options here. Mama Della's Ristorante for authentic Italian cuisine.
And yes, they do serenade you, just like Lee serenaded us.
Good.
Oh, and then we have Biche Ristorante, which is an exquisite culinary voyage.
Sounds interesting. And Trattoria del Porto offers breakfast and dinner featuring burger sandwiches and Italian fare. There had to be somewhere that just had your typical burgers and sandwiches there.
Sal's Market Deli has brick oven pizzas, antipasto, and more.
Sal's I like a lot. It is really like authentic Neapolitan type pizza with the thin crust. Yeah. Very fresh mozzarella and pepperoni type ingredients. It's not the mass marketed kind of stuff.
Good.
Yep. And then there's the Thirsty Fish, which is a harborside Italian wine bar.
Bar American has specialty drinks and Italy's treasured grappas, whatever the hell that is.
I have no idea.
Tracy, no? You don't know what it is or you don't like it? All right.
Splendido Bar and Grill is a poolside eatery.
Okay.
Yep. Very good. This hotel features the Mandara Spa and complimentary fitness center. Now, the Mandara Spa is not complimentary by any stretch of the imagination, but it is wonderful.
Portofino Bay holds some special events. They have Harbour Nights, which is a food and wine festival with live music. And Musica del Notte, the music of the night, showcases a unique blend of classic opera, romantic and festive music, along with, I hate this term, popera favourites.
I fancy that. I think I'd enjoy that. Guests can make their way to the parks via the water taxis or the approximately 1 mile garden walkway.
Yeah, no thanks. I've seen how much we walk in the theme parks. I ain't walking a mile.
I have walked that one, thank you.
So she won't walk the 15 minutes from bloody Royal Pacific, but she'll walk the 1 mile from Portofino. But I'd had a drink at that point, Michelle.
No, it was 4:00 in the morning and I was trying to get to the opening of to the opening of Hagrid's.
You see, the sensible option would have been to stay at the Hard Rock and anyway.
Why?
Because it's closer.
You can stay at this.
It wasn't available. It was the opening of Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And the water taxi wouldn't show up and I didn't want to be at the back of the line. So I hauled butt and practically jogged, really, that whole walkway.
Yeah, no thanks.
Anyway, Universal Orlando Resort also hosts many seasonal events too. Universal Orlando's Christian Rock Festival, Rock the Universe, comes to the resort in January.
February, March, and April sees Universal's Mardi Gras celebrations come to Universal Studios Florida with themed food, a parade, and ordinarily some big name bands make this a fantastic event.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then September, October, and some of November sees the country's leading Halloween event take over Universal Studios Florida. Halloween Horror Nights is a must-see event for any scare attraction fan as the park is transformed into the things from your nightmares. We like it a little bit, apparently.
We have a little announcement for Halloween Horror Nights, but we're going to wait until next week.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Oh, and finally, throughout December, and November, some of November.
Okay. Yes, true.
Yeah, sees the holidays take over the resort with the Holiday Parade featuring Macy's and performances by Mannheim Steamroller at Universal Studios Florida. And The Grinch comes to town for Grinchmas at Islands of Adventure. Please check universalorlando.com for more details on these events.
Because they are awesome. We haven't done the holidays, but Mardi Gras is amazing. Halloween Horror Nights is...
I can't believe I'm having to wait for the holidays. Gutted.
You might be waiting longer for Halloween Horror Nights at this point, but we'll wait and see what happens. So that is it. That is our overview of Universal Orlando Resort. As we said at the very beginning, it is not an exhaustive list. There are much, much more things to delve into, but we thought this was enough to give the average visitor something to get the most out of the resort and hopefully give you the info you need to be able to enjoy most of the things that Universal Orlando has to offer.
And for more in-depth information, check out the Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando by the lovely Seth Kuberski, and that's available to Amazon.
Yeah, and you can also hear him on our show every other week.
Absolutely.
Yes, we love Seth.
Yeah. And, speaking of lovely people, to book your next trip, be sure to get in touch with our sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. I hear they're quite nice.
They're all right. They've done us all right in the past.
Yeah.
They're so amazing. They're the absolute best people to work with ever. They know everything there is to know about Universal Orlando, and they will just make your trip go off without a hitch. And of course, for more in-depth information, discussion, and chat, go back into our archive and continue to listen to the podcast. And of course, enjoy your next visit to Universal Orlando Resort.
Guess that wraps things up for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese. See you later.